I'm Senator Bob Huff, and this is my capital comment. Why tunnels? You know, we had the peripheral canal. You remember that? That word is toxic now. You can't use that. So when I first came to the legislature, we were talking about alternative water conveyance, and you say, what the heck is that? But they didn't want to say, you know, peripheral canal. Well, the reason a tunnel came out, it was very expensive to build tunnels, but the reason is if you have ground subsidence, if you have earthquake activity, if we have sea level rise, it solves all of those problems. So it probably is the most flexible alternative water conveyance system. We have a great climate, we have great soil, we have great water. The flip side of that is our urban areas, and I think the statistic is when we've done the last doubling of our population, we continue to use about the same amount of water because we have done much better water management. But another thing is the groundwater management, and that is a fast-moving target. And I think what triggered it is just the amount of water that's being mined basically in Central California, because they're getting 0 water allowance or 5% water allowance, and they've got crops dying. They got the drilling rigs out there drilling deeper wells, because for them, if they can get the water just to keep their crops alive, not even to produce enough for a harvest, but just to keep the plants alive, then they can live another day. If they lose their whole investment, they got a problem. So when we start to talk about monitoring, this gets them all exercised because now we're messing with their livelihood. That's also part of the problem. A lot of times people will ask, well, why do we have to build above ground storage? Why can't we just, use our aquifers better? Well, they're not mutually exclusive. We do need to use our aquifers better, and that's something fairly recent when it comes to water history and usage, because in the past it's been sort of down there, we've taken it for granted, and then we finally discovered we had huge reservoirs of water under us, but we can't get water in there fast, and we can't take it out fast. So if we can capture it in the rainy times, put it in the above ground reservoirs, and then trickle it back down into the soil, then it's available to pull out, but that's a much slower process. So you have to build flexibility into the system. That's why the bond is looking to have some above ground storage, and that's absolutely common denominator for everything. I think if there's one takeaway from this, water is very important. We have it right now. We won't have it forever, but we do have to plan for the future. Thank you for joining me for my capital comment. I'm Senator Bob Huff.